Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to be struck by lightning? This man definitely knows what it feels like because he was struck not once, not twice, but 7 times in his lifetime. Hi, I'm Meg. I talk about interesting stories and true crime, so if that's what you're into, make sure you follow. Today we're talking about Roy C. Sullivan. He was born on the 7th of February, 1912 in Virginia. He lived the majority of his life working as a park ranger in a national park in Virginia. The first time Roy ever got struck by lightning, it was in 1942. He got directly struck in the leg. It left quite a burn mark on his leg and he lost his toe because of it. 90% of people who are struck by lightning survive, which is quite high, but he was still lucky to have survived. Little did he know he'd be struck again 6 more times throughout his life. Talk about bad luck. To put it in perspective, the chances of getting struck by lightning are 1 in 15,000. First time he got struck was 1942, and the next one wasn't until 1969. He was struck by lightning while driving his truck, and apparently it burnt his eyebrows. Also completely knocked him out, and he survived. At this point, he's probably like, oh, not again, that sucks, but I'm alive, it's fine, won't happen again probably. Sorry to tell you, Roy. It's gonna happen another 5 times. Only a year later, he was struck in his back garden. He was struck in the shoulder, which left his shoulder burnt. And again in 1972, and it caught his hair on fire. At this point in Roy's life, he thought that there was some sort of scientific explanation on why he was more likely to be struck by lightning. So he started carrying a can of water everywhere he went with him, which is just... poor guy. 1973, he gets struck again. And in 1976, and again in 1977, while fishing, it left him with quite bad burns on his chest. What makes me sad about this story is how it ends. Now, people started avoiding Roy because they were scared to get struck by lightning themselves. Roy was convinced that the world, some mysterious force, wanted him dead. I think we've all had moments where we feel like the world is working against us, but not that bad. I completely forgot to mention, but in his final time getting struck, which was the fishing incident, his hair was on fire. And he turned around to try to, fix his situation. He had a fish on his fishing line and a bear approached him. A bear. He managed to get away by hitting the bear with a branch, but are you kidding me? If my hair was on fire and I just got struck by lightning, which must hurt a lot, and a bear approaches... Mind you, it's the 7th time? Oh my god. I seriously just can't imagine what it must feel like to have that much bad luck in your life. I was trying to research if there was a reason why Roy was struck by lightning that many times, how that's possible, and it all just kind of adds up to it being his lifestyle. He spent a lot of his life outside, so I guess that's why. Not only did Roy have bad luck with nature, but he also had bad luck in his personal life. I couldn't find much about this, but apparently Roy was in love with someone who did not love him back. And this really, really, really hurt him. Not only did this person not love him back, but he felt like the entire world was working against him. On the 28th of September, 1983, when Roy was only 71, Roy died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He apparently did it after he realized that that person didn't love him back. I was familiar with this story, but I had no idea that it ended in that way. And when I read that, when I was researching about it, my heart literally sunk. I really thought it would end with Roy growing old and laughing about his ridiculously bad luck. But that's it. That is the story of Roy C. Sullivan, the man who was struck by lightning 7 times and fought off a bear. Sorry for the kind of sad ending there. I really wasn't expecting it myself when researching. Either way, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in videos like this, check out the playlist right below. I usually do more interesting makeup on these videos, but I'm going to work, so keeping it simple. It's also 1,000,000 degrees outside, so no way am I putting actual foundation on. I recently started using this Cicapair, I don't know how to say it. Not sponsored, I just kept seeing it on TikTok, so I tried it out, and I'm liking it. It's good for redness. It really throws me off though that it's green, but it turns beige. Anyways, it's really good for like, I get a lot of redness here and like here. So it's like my foundation for the summer. I avoided buying it for so long because it's not cheap, but now that I realize it's actually a lot of product. I feel like this sounds like a sponsor. It's literally not. I bought it from Boots. I'm gonna go now because I'm gonna turn my fan back on. I have to turn it off to film these videos and oh my god, it's so hot. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye. And I hope that you never get struck by lightning. Because, it doesn't sound very pleasant. Bye, guys.